What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world but keep the sky on your mind.
Hello, and welcome to another live stream. Here with Fly the Noob. I apologize for the lack of live streams over the past 24 hours. My sleep schedule got turned upside down, so I've been all over the place. Rather than wait again for my usual timing, I thought, you know what, I'll just do a live stream right now. I will definitely be tuning into the live streams, I promise you that. All right, so today we are at Teterboro. Teterboro is where we are at today. Hello there, Anas. Welcome to the live stream. How are you doing? How are you? So today we are at Teterboro, a popular GA jet hub in New York, pretty much. And we're going to be taking a look at the lovely Phenom 300 released for Microsoft Flight Simulator by FSReborn. This is the Embraer Phenom 300E. Alright, and this is a new release. I'm a couple of days late to the party. As usual at Fly the Noob, we're always a couple of days late to the party. Because channel's lacking some funding at the moment, but yeah, at least we're here now, right? So we got the FSReborn Phenom 300, and this is a private jet, a very popular one that has been modeled here by FSReborn in lots of new interesting ways with lots and lots of new features, one of which we're looking at right now. That is the ability to build and save an FBO anywhere in the world that you please. As you can see, I've already gone ahead and done that. I've created a couple of FBOs around the world in some of my favorite airports. This one I've decided to make at Teterboro with my own logo as well. It allows you the option to customize and put your own logos and writings and all that good stuff in there as well. So it's a really, really cool feature that's included with this particular aircraft. All right, there we go. Very nice. Now before we do the walk around, let me go ahead and go to the drone camera and let's take a look around our FBO. Look at how well modeled and detailed this is. Look at that. It's so beautiful, isn't it? This is the aerolith. There are a couple of options for you to choose from. Behind us, I've also made a medium base which looks pretty cool. The base of operations, very, very nice. Really, really nice, isn't it? So we can go inside and check out. Obviously, I've bothered to put my logo everywhere. There's a process for that. It's actually fairly simple once you figure it out. So there you go. I'll make a tutorial on that too. Why not? But there it is. Got a logo everywhere, and the building is looking fantastic, isn't it? Fly the noob everywhere. Check that out. Looking really, really cool. Okay, so there we go. Got a medium base of operations and an aerolith here at Teterboro Airport set, which is a very apt airport for your jet operations. As you can see, it's just filled with all sorts of private jet. So there we go. One day I'll have one in real life, eh? Look at that. How beautiful. All right, anyway. So I'll talk about more in detail about the FBO and stuff in a video that's coming up. But for now, that's what it is, everyone. Let's go back to our walk around mode. Alright, let's go ahead and get rid of our chocks and cones and all that stuff. Pitot tube covers, let's remove them. I can't see my cursor. Oh lord, okay, give me a second here. Ah, there it is. Ah, there. Okay, so we're gonna remove that. We're going to remove that. Let's get rid of the chocks as well, assuming the parking brakes are on. Gonna go and remove the engine covers as well. Like so. There we go. Okay. Now, you can see from the modeling that it's pretty good. It's not too bad at all. It's modeled pretty well. There you go. You can see the lights and everything. That is some extreme crazy level of detail there. Good level of modeling. There are some areas where there's a bit of polygons, but from the exterior modeling it looks pretty good, doesn't it? It definitely looks pretty good from the outside. Look at that. Yep, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Yep, from the exterior we can see that the modeling is pretty well done. It's not too bad at all. There you go. Yep, very nice. Good level of modeling. I like it a lot. It used to have an issue the first day I got it. At night the liveries would become matte, but it seems like that issue has resolved itself, or they have updated it and fixed it. That issue no longer stands, so there's no issues with the livery appearing matte at night anymore. Anyway, if we take a look at that, everything is modeled really well. Okay, let's go ahead and open up the door. We'll check out the cabin and the cockpit. Obviously, you can open up the luggage door on both sides, as well as in the rear. Okay, in addition to that, this aircraft also allows you to manually control the fueling. By using this door right here, you have access to the fueling panel and you're able to fuel from here as well. We'll take a look at that in just a bit, obviously. All right, so let's go in. It is a bit heavy on the frame rate, especially if you've got your FBO set up, but it's not too terrible. Let's open up our door. Okay, good animation. We can press that to go inside. Excellent, we're in the cockpit, but before we check out the cockpit, let's, you know what, we need some lights and stuff, right? So let's power this up. Now, the EFB here is absolutely brilliant. Okay, it is just so good. It gives you the TAC for major components like your engine. You can see how long they've been running for. They're the same on the bulbs, the tires. You can see everything that you could possibly want and more. It's a little too much, to be honest. It's overdone, but it's brilliant. If you want an aircraft to really immerse yourself in, this is the one to do it with. So you've got your battery status, two batteries, you got your volts, you've got your engine statuses, oil quantities, you've got bulb, how they're going, you've got your tire statuses, the pressure, everything. All right, that is your pre-flight check. You have to check that all of this is doing well, which we've just done. You can import your SimBrief plan, which let's do today. There you go. We're flying from Teterboro to Portland International. Portland International because that's also a jet port, and I've got another base set up at Portland. So yeah, it's the exact same type of base as we have here in Teterboro that I've set up in Portland. My other bases are across the world in the Middle East. We'll take a look at those later on in a video. All right. So we've got our information right here, departure information and METAR data, arrival METAR and TAF. Weather, if you want to look up anything, you've got your OFP right here available to you. You can go through them if you want to. Okay, so very easy to use right here. Okay, if you have Navigraph charts, you can see your charts up here. Now, obviously, I don't have Navigraph charts, so I will not have access to any charts here. But you can't pull up the charts from the default EFB. You can only pull up Navigraph charts if you have the subscription, which we don't have here. At the ground ops, you have an overview of how the aircraft is loaded and what doors are closed and open, which is pretty cool, isn't it? Okay, now you can't open the fueling door from here. You have to go outside the aircraft physically in walk around mode to do that. So that is one of the things to remember. You really can't do that from here. You've got your payload and all of that good stuff. Now, does payload import from SimBrief? Not for me. It does not import from SimBrief properly, and that is one of the issues I have for some reason. But you can, it's not that bad. It's just 7 passengers and 2 pilots. You can just put that in manually. It's not too difficult. You've got the section here for cabin comfort. Here you can see your cabin services. You can clean up your cabin. You can serve some coffee, serve some snacks. You can also go and check out how the passengers are doing. You've got your passenger status. That's something really cool. The passengers are modeled. Mr. Anderson himself. Hello there. How are you doing, man? Sure, man. Sure. This stream will definitely help you decide because it should definitely help you decide. If it was possible to have more than one FPO built, yes, you can. You can have as many as you want and as many places as you want in the same places as you want as you please. Okay? Glad to have answered your question there. All right, so we've got passengers that are modeled really, really well. You can see how satisfied each passenger is, how dissatisfied they are, what exactly they need. You can check all of that on this. To be honest with you, it's a little bit annoying. It doesn't give you any notifications. That's a good part, but it is a bit annoying if you decide to aim for perfect customer or passenger satisfaction. All right, so you got your lavatory and you got everything that you need pretty much. Here you can see that the cabin is messy at the moment and Wi-Fi is off. Here you've got a bunch of PA announcements that you can make. You've got your AC, bleed air, which is modeled rather annoyingly, extremely realistically. So you can't just flick on your AC or your temperature control and set a temperature there and forget about it. No, that's not how it works. You have to actively manage it to make sure that it's doing what you want it to do, because everything is thermodynamically modeled in here. If you're in sunlight, it affects things. Everything affects the AC and cabin condition. So it's modeled extremely annoyingly well, to be honest. So here we can see the cabin is pretty messy. Let's just clean the cabin, make it pristine here before our passengers come in, because that does affect their satisfaction. I'll try to fly with good satisfaction today, but let's try that, right? Moving on, we can come to the maintenance area. Now, you can, when you are on the ground with the engines off, you can perform maintenance if it's required. Okay, so we can see engine 1 status is okay. Engine 1 Taco is at 3.10 hours. Engine regular maintenance is supposed to be 2,500 hours, and oil changes at 200 hours. Now, we don't need to worry about any of this. As you can tell, we are not scheduled for any maintenance at the moment. We've got plenty of time before we maintain. But if you want to perform any maintenance, you can do that from here. You can select different things like generators, right? And perform the necessary maintenance for that. Engine 2, hydraulic pumps, pitch trim actuators, battery 1, battery 2, flaps, motor. There we go. VCS tacho, we've got that damaged. Dishant, is this better than the Citation X? Well, I'll let you be the judge of that. I have not flown it long enough to make a conclusive decision on that. However, it is definitely modeled much more accurately, and there's a lot of deep simulation and immersive features as we are already seeing. And we haven't even started the aircraft. So there's a lot of that. That's for sure. If you're looking for more detailed, immersive simulation, then it's definitely better than the Citation X. Good to have you here. I have nasty cold. Good way to keep busy. Oh, well. Hope you get well soon, Mr. Mike Coffee. Welcome to the stream as always. All right. So as you can tell here, our VCS tacho is 0.43 hours. But however, it is damaged. Now, I'll tell you how I damaged it. I ran the AC on high with ground power and battery. Now, when you do that, I put it on high and did that, and it kind of damaged it. All right, it kind of damaged it, and that is what caused this particular issue to happen. So, like I said, it's accurate, but it's accurate to a point where it can get annoying. Obviously, you can turn off all of this. We'll show you that in a second. So let's perform maintenance right here. And now we've got it at status OK. All right, flaps, motor, tires are fine. Let's take a look at our front tire health, 97, 92, 88. That's good enough for us, right? That's good enough. That's good enough of a health for me. Okay, so everything else here is okay, and we don't need to worry about any of these maintenance issues that we've had so far. When the VCS fails, the compressor drive will be unable to cool the air for the cabin. Performing maintenance or replacing the VCS will reset this behavior, and this is why I have not been able to cool the cabin correctly. So that is the thing. I like that you have instant FBO and hangar. Yes, you do. I've managed to make a couple of that. Seems like he has become the A2A of business jets. Pretty much. That's what's happened here, Mr. Anderson. All right, now let's go to the realism option. Over here, you can set up exactly how you want your realism to function. Now, one of the things that I've done, if you're not extremely familiar with the aircraft that you're flying, turn off random failures. That is the number one suggestion that I can give you as a flight simmer. If you are not well accustomed to the aircraft that you're flying and you know what it does, and you've bothered to read the manual and go through the actual procedures, do not bother turning on random failures, because as a flight simmer, it's going to annoy you. Yes, it is Dishant. VCS is basically an AC compressor. There's nothing else to it. It's basically a compressor. Okay. Now for electrical systems, as you can see, I've turned off the failures and the light bulb failures. I'm not really looking to fly with such levels of immersion. It's good to know that it's there if I want it, but I'm not really interested in having that. But I do like wear and tear, so I have those enabled. In general, I have all my failures disabled. I am not accustomed to this aircraft, and I'm not comfortable with this aircraft enough to have random failures happen. Absolutely not. All right, now I do like to persist on the covers, so I'll leave that on. Don't know why I switched that off, but I'll leave that on. In engines, again, engine failure is off for me. Engine wear and tear is on. And yes, the engine stress damage is turned on for me in MSFS. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Engine oil changes and engine hot starts are all on for me. Landing gear wear and tear, brakes wear and tear, but the failures are off. Fuel and payload, persist last fuel and payload quantity. Allow payload changes during flight. I've enabled this just because I'm messing around with the flight and still learning. So to play around with it, I've given myself the option of allowing to change that. Obviously, if you're extremely realistic, you want to turn that off. In fuel aircraft, manually, I have turned that on. Dishan, Captain, where do you stay in Dubai? Because even... Dishan, this is internet. You shouldn't let people know where you live, man. Safeguard your privacy at all times in the chat. Don't let people know where you live. This is the internet. You know what I mean? You gotta keep it safe. But yeah, at the moment I'm not anywhere near there. So yeah. All right, a fuel and payload. So we got fuel aircraft manually. If enabled, the fuel truck will wait for you to operate the fuel panel. So the fuel panel that I showed you guys earlier on, you're actually going to have to step out of the aircraft, go to the fuel panel and operate it yourself. So remember that when you have this set right here. It's a nice touch. Okay, now FAQs, some basically frequently asked questions are available here. Nothing much to it. And then finally, we've got some settings. You can change your units as you please here. I like it the way it is. Would be cool if an error came up, you'd hear Scotty freaking out, right? You've got your, if you don't have chase plane, because unfortunately fortunately I have chase plane, but because I have chase plane, none of these action cameras really work. But if you're using your default Microsoft Flight Simulator camera system, you can use these action cameras so that these particular things happen. So when you start your engine, it automatically goes to that engine and shows you the engine spooling up. When you drop your landing gear, it automatically goes to the landing gear. And this feature is really, really cool. I'm telling you, this is probably the coolest feature that I believe this aircraft has. Unfortunately, I can't show you guys this because I'm running chase plane, so it doesn't work with chase plane. At least not for me. You've got your PA voice. You can switch between female, male, and you can see whether or not you want to have that announced out loud, or you just want it to be displayed in your cabin comfort right here. So it has a PA log and it will tell you what announcement is being conducted. You can control your sounds individually, which is very, very useful, right? You can actually control anything. In case your equalizer is off whack, you can go and do that here. You've got your headset simulation. Over here, you've got your SimBrief username and your SB plan to a G3000. If you want to send your flight plan, SimBrief flight plan, to your Garmin system, you can do that here. I've got that enabled. You've got Navigraph charts. If you want to enable that, you've got that as well. Aircraft wear and tear speed. If you don't want to wait, okay? If you don't want to wait, like something that would be comparable to real life timings between failures and wear and tear, you can increase them. So if you're someone who likes to experience a bit more wear and tear a bit more quickly, so you can play around with it a little bit more, you can obviously slide the scale up as you require. Now for me, I like to have it at real time. I don't like to mess with maintenance a lot. I'm someone who just likes to fly the aircraft. I'm not really interested in messing with maintenance too much. Now you can reset everything here. Obviously, aircraft stats can be reset right here. Okay, so that is a good look at our EFB. Now, let's go ahead. Let's come to ground ops. Let's connect up our GPU. You have to enable the GPU first and then connect it right here. Let's go ahead and get both of our batteries up and running. Let's get GPU here. We'll connect it up. And then we'll go to the overhead, turn on that panel light right there. Turn on nav lights, emergency lights armed. We'll give the cabin control off to the passenger. There is an area in the cabin where they can control stuff. I'll show you that in just a second. So there we go. We are now waiting for the aircraft to align itself. The AHRS will align itself. Let's press this soft key here. Get all our systems to come to life. And while it does that, we're not going to do anything else here. We'll just let the aircraft initialize without any further disruptions. Okay, just make sure TCAS is on altitude reporting, which is where I like to leave it. Okay, we'll wait for this. Yeah, we'll wait for that. Parking brake is on, confirmed. Here's a parking brake right there. Very good. Just gonna wait for the TORS system. There you go. TORS test is going on right now. We're just going to wait for that. That's pretty much all you have to do. Okay, we've got this coming to life. We're just waiting for the TORS.
TORS system test. Okay.
There we go. There we go. TORS systems have been done. We've got some more stuff to do here, but we'll come to that in just a second. Before we mess around with any of our setup or initialization, I know you guys couldn't see well. I should have just used my torch to show you guys what I was flicking on. Here is battery 1, battery 2 is here, and this is the button where you switch to using the ground power, which is what we did, and we've got generator 1 and 2. We'll leave these two on automatic right here. Okay, now before we continue with our setup and our configuration for taxi and takeoff, we're gonna go and take a look at our beautiful cabin. I'm gonna turn off the flashlight for this one. So the cabin is modeled quite well. However, in the cabin you can notice some polygons here and there. It's not as detailed. Although the texture modeling is not too terrible at all. Just a few polygons here and there, which I do not mind at all. If you look at the seat, it's modeled really well. Yes, it is not as high quality modeling as I don't think it's as high quality as the Flight FX one on the interior, but to be honest with you, it's not that big of a deal. I think I'm being too nitpicky. It's definitely well modeled, as you can tell. It's very, very nice. Okay, as usual, you've got your tray tables, which are fully interactable. You can pull them out like that. Very nice. You've got meal services that you can enable. You've got some trays at the foot that you can pull and open if you like. Now here, right here, this particular seat, we've got the passenger control only on this seat. So right here, if you give the cabin control off to the passenger like we did with the overhead panel, you can allow the passenger pretty much to control the lighting, some of the connectivity features, temperature settings. Like there's a lot in here. There's a lot in here. It also gives them a time remaining bar. It's very cool. So perhaps we can go to maybe sleep. Right, you can go to some custom ones. If you want to put some custom stuff, you can put that in there. Like cabin wash lights, you can control each light individually if you want to. Right, every reading light can be controlled. If we turn this on, for instance, you can see that there's a reading light that's on right there. You can turn that off. So you can have custom presets saved as well. It's a crazy level of immersion. You've got your table lights if you want to use it. So for example, you can turn this one on right here. You see you've got your table light, and if you're using the table, you can have that light right here. There you go. You can turn that off and the light is gone. So you've got lots of options for you to play with. You've got your area lights. You can have entry area light like so by the door right there. can have your lavatory, halos, can be turned on or off as you please. Is there food on the tray? I think once you serve the snacks, you'll get food on the tray. If you press the option to serve the snacks, then yeah, you can turn off the halos. There you go. So whatever you want to, you can do whatever you want to. Now for today, I'm going to leave it on the sleep preset, which I quite like. So there you go. Okay, so that's the passenger control module right there. All right, so that's a look at the cabin. And as you can tell, it's a pretty cool one. Very nice. Let's take a look at these cabinets right here. I forgot about that. Let's take a look at, you know what? Let me make the cabin lights really bright for a second. Let me just... There we go. We'll make it really bright for a second. So we've got some cabinets here. And if you open that up, you got a bunch of books and magazines and all that stuff. You've got... What is this? Is that a... Oh, it's like a cup holder. Glass holder, more like. You've got more cups, coffee cups. Got more plates, saucers, whatever you want to call those. You've got your refreshment center here to pull yourself some coffee if you like. Now, obviously, this is turned off at the moment. We need to turn it on first. I don't know if it's modeled, but you've got lots and lots of stuff here. You got your cold drinks and there's some bins. It's pretty good. All right, it is very, very cool. There you go, more drinks, some wine and some liquor. They got some food trays. Oh, would you look at that? Some meals. Delicious. I didn't have breakfast today. It's making me hungry. All right, I'm gonna close that up as well. And let's close that up as well. It is pretty good, right? Just like the Flight FX one, all of this is modeled. Obviously, it's a bit more cramped of a business jet. I would like this in a, I don't know, less number of seats configuration. For a business jet, it's a pretty small and cramped one, but it's good. As you can see, it is very good. All right. Now, let's go ahead here. There is the in-flight entertainment and refreshment center. Let's turn that on. When you turn it on, you will see that the Wi-Fi turns on. You see that? So when you turn it on, the Wi-Fi also turns on right here. Let me see if that will let us pour ourselves some coffee. It doesn't. Oh, that sucks. But at least it's there, you know what I mean? At least it's there. Okay. I think it's time for us to stop messing around and let's go ahead and get this party started. We'll get on a flight from Teterboro to Portland International and we'll check out the various aspects that are operational to this aircraft. Okay, we're fully maintained, ready to go. Let's get started. Initialization pretty much completed. Let's go. We haven't done the FMS initialization, so we're going to go ahead and do that first. Okay, so before we get the passengers up here, we're going to go ahead and do that first. So let's go to ground ops. Let's go to our sim brief plan. Let me just input what we need to today. No, you're not supposed to close the passenger door. We're gonna leave that open, Mr. Mike Coffee, because we don't have passengers boarded yet. So we're gonna leave that door open for the time being. You know what? As a matter of fact, you might be right. I could close this up for now. You're right. We could leave this closed for now, so I'll close it up for now. Okay? We'll open it up when the passengers arrive. You might be right about that one, so I'll do it like that. So, let's see. We've got 8 passengers today. That means pilot, co-pilot plus. Okay? So we're going to go to 175. That's the weight I like to use here. It is somewhere around there. It doesn't have to be exact, everybody. So there we go, 177, that's okay, 153, that's extremely light, 175, there we go, 175, 177, not too bad, that's good enough. Passenger 7 at 100, and I like to use 175, keeps everything uniform for me. Okay. Cargo today 440 at the back, that's fine, we'll leave that the way it is. All the covers have been removed. Double check that, and we've got our load. Fuel for today is 2194 divided by 2. We've got 1541097, which is pretty much what we're supposed to have right here. That's good enough for us to fuel in for today. So we got all of this done. Now we can press load real time, and that will get this stuff started. But before I press that, I want to come to the FMS and set this up. So let's start our initialization. First things first, you gotta go to the voice data. Let's do the voice data test. While that's happening, you can come here, go to TORS. This one is done. Let's move on to the ATR. Now this aircraft has a very advanced simulation of the FADC and ATR systems.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to traffic system test. So the ATR is the auto thrust reserve system. It automatically manages thrust as and when you require based on, okay, mainly based on whether or not your engines fail, whether or not one engine fails at critical phases. So it automatically manages thrust and gives you some extra reserve thrust if you need it. That's a system that basically manages that. Then you've got your FADC, your engine management system, that does so using computers. So it requires you to set this up right here. To do that, let's come to performance. Let's populate it. 14 degrees Celsius. That's perfectly fine, right? So that's the outside air temperature. We're going to send that data to the system. Over here, we can move on from here, We're at the active flight plan here. So we can use both these FMS at the same time to move quickly through the initialization as you require. So now, to do this here, you can obviously manually input everything you want to. So TWO is KTEB. You can enter that right here. And you can put your destination, which is Portland at KPWM. You can put that in. Okay, Portland International Jetport. And you can put your on the route waypoints and your, for example, if you want to, you can also, let me just show you guys how to do that, yeah? So if you want to put from KTEB, from the origin, you can select your runway 01. Then you can select your departure, which today we're using TEB 4 out of that. We can load that up, and there's your departure right there. Okay, you can input en route waypoint of Brezzy. There you go. We can enter that right there. Brezzy is entered. And then we can go to load the airway V39. Okay, and we can exit V39 at CMK. We pick that up right there. Brezzy, Volu, Mikhail, CMK. Load that up. There you go. So if you want to see that, you can see the full expanded view, and you can also collapse it right here. Okay, there you go. All right, so it's very, very easy to use, much easier to use than your Boeing and Airbus systems. Very, very fancy, and very, you know, it's a very apt for a private jet, I would say. This system is pretty cool. All right, so we've got that done. This is the Garmin 3000, proprietarily named as Prodigy system by Embraer. That's pretty much what it is. Okay, so we're gonna move forward with that. We can go direct towards Merit, etc., etc. You can enter that. You got Merit, and then from there HFD, etc., etc. You can go to your destination, and you can select your arrival runway 29er. If you want to do that later, you can. If you're using ATC, obviously ATC will let you know when you can do that, but today we're not using ATC, so we can just program that in advance. We got CDOG 4 as our arrival, so we can select our arrivals, CDOG 4 for runway 29er. We can load that up. There you go. That's all done. Now you can also select your approach. So we're going to use ILS 29er. If you want to put in a minimums, you can. I can put this in like that. I can load it for now. Not activate. Load it for now. There you go. And ta-da. You've got your entire flight plan pretty much there, apart from the en route waypoint. Now, you can come here, go to your flight plan and press re-import from SimBrief with this page open. Now, if you do that, it will automatically put in your flight plan for you. There you go. You can import your flight plan from SimBrief directly. That's what I've just done. You see these waypoints that I did not put in have just shown up. HFD, put, CDOG, etc, etc. Now we can go ahead and select that arrival again. Load that up. You can go ahead and select an approach. Load that up. Done. There you go. Now our flight plan is done. Okay, very, very simple, very, very easy. Let's press next. Now, our landing field elevation, it will automatically pick this up from the database available in the FMS. So if you want to do that, you can do that. Unless you want to manually input something, maybe it's inaccurate or something, you can manually input that if you like. I'm going to go with the FMS landing field elevation right here. Go to next. Here you have to put in the aircraft loading. Now this does not work for me automatically. You can import it from MSFS if you're using this particular tablet. Okay, which I'm not. Right? So if you're using the interface here, you can import it from MSFS, which we're not today, and therefore I'm gonna go and put it in manually. So our aft baggage today is going to be 440. Our pilot today is, I'm just gonna put 175 for each. It's going to be enough, no need to worry. There's it's going to be a few pounds off here and there, but it's not going to affect the performance that badly. Obviously, it's a good idea to be as accurate as possible. But again, not that big of a deal. I'm done with that. If we come to our ground ops right here, there you go. That's pretty much what it has, right? So we're done with this. Fuel. We can sync it with the FOB right there you go. Fuel on board is 2329. We're supposed to have a block fuel of 2194. So that's what we have at the moment. We can now go ahead, now that we've reached this particular stage here, and okay, we're gonna come here to the EFB, and we're going to load real time. I'm gonna go do the fueling and change the fuel on board. So we're gonna wait for the fueling truck. Obviously, at any stage, if you don't want to go through the realistic flow, you can just skip and complete it. But today I'm gonna go through that flow so that you guys can see how to manually do a refueling. 2194 is the amount, which is basically 2,200. Okay, we're just gonna wait for the fuel truck. Fuel truck is arriving. So let's go outside. Wait, before I go outside. So it says fuel status is arriving. Let it arrive. And then it will ask us to go outside and operate the fuel panel. So I'm going to wait for that. Waiting. It's taking a while. Ah, there it is. Truck ready. Open fuel door and fuel cap. So let's go outside and go towards, there's our fueling truck. We come down here. Let's crouch. Open up that fueling panel. Open up the fuel cap. And there you go, there's the fuel hose attached. Let's set fuel quantity. If I can see. So let's set the fuel quantity at 2,200. That's what we want. Oh, 5,000 is way too much. So let's... why isn't it decreasing? Hold on. 2194 pounds. Yeah, that's what we need today. Okay, I'm trying to decrease the fuel quantity. Why isn't it decreasing? Oh, that's interesting. I bet this jet would be fun flying with the new jet card add-on. I'm not aware of that add-on. Why do we have so much fuel? We've got a full tank. I need to decrease the fuel. There we go. I'm decreasing the fuel right now. I hope you guys can see that. Okay, we need 2,200. So this is going to be a defueling process, I suppose. So you can set your fuel quantity using that button right there, increase or decrease. I'm not aware of the jet card add-on. I don't know exactly what that does. Okay, let's decrease it further. If it will let me. The button's a little bit finicky. Okay, there we go. Oh my god. Yeah, this button is a little bit finicky right now. I don't know what's going on. Oh. Come on. Why is it stuck? I'm trying to decrease the fuel quantity. It's not letting me. Yeah, it's not letting me do that. I don't know what's wrong. A little bit of a glitch. It was doing it and then stopped. It's letting me increase. Letting me decrease. Okay, let me decrease a bit more. It doesn't let me decrease past this. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. Jet card is kind of like a business jet version of New Sky or On Air Company, geared towards corporate. I actually have no idea what any of those add-ons are, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you, I have no idea what that is. Is it one of those stuff that lets you like manage your route, see how much money you make, your passengers? It is super cool, but right now we're having a little bit of an issue with decreasing the fuel quantity, and I don't know why that is. Give me a second. I want to try and... This is not working. There's too much fuel in here. What can I do? Wait, let me try this. Okay, let me try and decrease the... It's not letting me decrease the fuel quantity. I don't know what the heck is going on with this. Okay, you know what? Let me cancel the services. Let me come down here to the fuel. And... this is annoying. Okay, I know what to do. Let me just reset the loading completely to 0. We have too much fuel in our tank. Okay, we'll put it like this. Oh, I know what to do. Load instant. Unload instant. That's all I had to do. Okay, so I'm going to put back the weights here. So one thing is the slider is annoying, by the way. It's very hard to get an exact figure. So that's something to remember. The slider is quite annoying. Okay. It's fine. The roundabout figure is fine. And that's good. All right. So now let me try that again. Let me try to load real time. Let's try that one more time. No fuel requested. That's because we already have enough fuel in there. Let me cancel the service one more time. Hold on. Put it like this. Come on. There we go. Gonna put a bit of fuel in there. There we go. Now let's try and request about that much. Let's try load real time. So yeah, it is pretty realistic. It can get annoying here and there, but you know, requesting fuel truck one more time, and let's see how it works this time with a bit less fuel in the tanks rather than having a full tank. Okay, we're taking our sweet time today to get off the ground, but that's all right. So we'll wait for the fuel truck and then we'll see what it does. It should enable us to refuel correctly because we don't have a full tank, right? It should work. It should. Waiting for the fuel truck. Come on, fuel truck. Let's go check out the FBO. This is where the passengers are waiting, apparently. So when we come through the FBO, we've got our own logo there. Looks pretty cool. Got a receptionist. Very creepy smile there. A trip down to Uncanny Valley for sure. Got a nice little waiting lounge. Very nice. Yep, that's pretty much what it is. Very nice. We've got a washroom of some sort. We can head up here through the stairs. Upstairs right here. Okay, we've got what appears to be an attendant. Taking a selfie or something of the sort, I don't know. We've got some meetings going on, everybody. 7-year forecast for Fly Danube operations. Some sort of meetings going on there. There's the operations control center. We've got our dispatch pretty much. Checking out schedules and flights and all that good stuff. Look at that, would you? Alright, so that's our operations center. And that's pretty much it. This is the FBO, everybody. This is the medium-sized base. And then you also have an executive base there, which is the combination of the hangar and the bases. We'll take a look at all of that later on, but anyway. Coming back down in here, still says requesting fuel truck. Come on. What the heck is going on? Something's up with the service. Let me try that again. Oh, God. Okay. This is definitely annoying now. It is a fairly new aircraft, so it does have some stuff to iron out still. Okay, let me try that. Let me try that again. Load one more time. Yeah, the fuel truck part, I think it's stuck. I think there's something wrong with this. I think there is something wrong with this. It's probably because I left this open, isn't it? Let me come back in here. There we go. There we go. The reason why the fuel truck thing was stuck was because I had my fuel panel door left open. So there are lots of quirks on this aircraft. Beware, it can get very annoying and very irritating. So you need to be a little bit patient and you need to work out how this system is actually programmed. The simulation is programmed in a lot of weird ways like that. So I left the fuel panel door open. Fuel truck is not going to come till I shut it. Now it's arriving. So we can go outside and do our stuff. So we'll just wait for it to ask us to go outside. Come on. Come on. There we go. Now we can go outside finally and get our fuel. This is our fuel truck, by the way. This is the fuel truck of whoever that is. Okay. Let's try this again, shall we? Open that up. Ta-da! Attach the hose. Okay, hopefully this time it works. Yes, it's working this time. There we go. It's allowing us to reduce. It is allowing us to reduce. So what we need is 2,200 pounds total fuel today. You can change the tank selection using this button, or you can put it on total. So total today needs to be 2,200 pounds of fuel. So let's go ahead and do that. Decrease. So lots of little quirks on this aircraft, huh? 2,200. Okay. The 77 is an additional. That's fine. It's all right with me. Let's go ahead and open up the valve and allow it to refuel. There we go. It's now refueling. Refueling in progress right there. We can see the total quantity increasing. There we go. Yep. So this is the valve that I've just opened. There we go. Now you guys can see it well. Okay, we'll wait for the refueling to do its thing. Obviously, if you don't want to do that, you can either switch off the realism from the menu, from the EFB, from the realism option. You can switch that off, manual refueling, or you can just skip and complete it as you load from the ground ops menu. So whichever you like, if you're in a rush, you can do that. In day-to-day operations, to be honest with you, I'll skip this step. I'm not gonna go through and do this every time, you know what I mean? Mike Coffee says he wants the full meal deal. All right. Okay, so we're done with the fueling. Let's close up our fueling valve. And we're going to turn our cap right there. We got the fuel that we need. Let's close our fueling panel door right there as such, and we can jump back into the aircraft. So that's completed. Now we're waiting for our passengers. They are boarding the vehicle at the FBO, so they're gonna come. When they arrive, you're gonna see a nice little Mercedes van pull up here. Well, I assume it's modeled after the Mercedes V series, but it'll pull up right here with our VIP passengers pretty much. Okay, now one thing to remember, I'll show you guys that as the passengers board up, and you'll see instantly how dissatisfied they are. Okay, so we're gonna wait for this to take place, and while it does happen, there they are. The van has pulled up, and here comes our VIP set of passengers. Let's sync the fuel on board one more time, and there we go. Aircraft loading. That's already done. Fuel is done. We can display the summary of our loading right here if you like. Okay. Let's go towards init. All of this is done. Now we need our takeoff data, weather information, load the METAR, runway information is right here. Takeoff config, if you want to change it, you can, but I'm going to leave it the way it is. We can accept our V speeds right here. We are at 105. Okay, so that's done. Next, we've got our speed bugs right here. We can accept them as we need. There you go. And we can accept our initialization, and that's done, ladies and gentlemen. Takeoff initialization. That's completed. What's happening here? Preparing to board. We can leave and unloading the luggage and cargo from the vehicle. So if you take a look at it, you can see baggage is starting to come up. Sure, Mr. Mike Coffee, I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for tuning in, man. Much appreciated. So you can see the bunch of baggage showing up here. They're waiting for us to load that in there. So let's do that. Waiting for your action. Cabin door. You can go outside and open the cabin door, or you can just open it up from right here. Okay, and that will get your stuff in there. Let's open up the cabin door as well. There you go. So passengers taking selfies, loading the baggage to the cargo area, blah blah blah, all that is going on. So let that happen. Okay, over here we can come to aircraft systems, put this on ECS just so we have an idea of how cold the cabin is. The cabin is pretty cold, isn't it? Yeah, it is pretty cold. There's nothing much I can do about that at the moment. So we should have ideally turned on the engines and have the cabin systems ready. So that's what you would normally do. Here we can come to electrical. No, status actually. So how it would happen is, normally you can also, the passengers are modeled too, by the way. The passengers are modeled and they show up inside. Normally you'll have your engines running and your cabin preconditioned for your passengers. Now we don't have that here today, and so they're going to show some discomfort with that as soon as they step in, but that's okay. I don't really care about that at the moment. So we're going to wait for the boarding process right there. If you look at the cabin comfort, immediately you'll see that it's a bit, see, they're already starting to drop because it's a bit too cold. It's shivering. See that? This person is shivering and anxious. Everything is going wrong. So every passenger has a type associated with them. This is an executive, a young professional. So, you know, everyone's can't type, fingers are too cold. There you go. I knew they're going to start complaining about the temperature. So you're going to have to get the cabin, the engines already running before you bring in your passengers, pretty much. Okay. Anyway, let's just go back to the ground ops. I'm not worried about this. Everything is done. Let's close the cabin door, close that door up. Let's start up our engines as quickly as possible. Okay. I'll turn on the flashlight so you guys can see what I'm doing. Bleeds to automatic. We're not doing the optional tests that we can do. I will not be doing them today. You can do various tests, which I will not do. Pumps to automatic. Hydraulic pumps up and open. ADRs probes heat to automatic. And we're ready to start up our engines. Engine number 1, start. And then it will go back to run. Ignition coming to life. N2 coming to life. There we go. Hydraulic pressure increasing. We can get our pressurization mode to automatic. Pressurization can come to automatic. ECS on both. We can get our AC to run slowly, but just give it a second. Engine number 1 has come to life. Engine number 2 now. There we go. There we go. Things are coming to life, looking good. Ignition can always be left on automatic mode pretty much. The FedEx system will take care of that. You don't need to worry about it too much. You can put it on if you want to force it on, but most of the time you can just leave it on automatic. Engine number 2 coming to life. Let's put our air conditioning mode to auto, and the VCS will now start running as it should. ECS is on both. That's done. That's done. Let's put our fan here. Temperature setting. We can set our temperature to 23 degrees on both. There we go. And we can have our fan on medium right there. Now we can turn off our light as such. Let's disconnect our GPU. There we go. Perfect. Let's turn on our taxi lights. Done. And yeah, let's get out of here. We can put our flaps on takeoff position already if we want. Release that parking brake. We are ready to taxi out of here towards our takeoff runway. Okay, brilliant. Excellent. Just a final check all around. Bleed 2 is off. Bleed is automatically managed and we don't need to worry about it. The system will automatically turn on and off various bleeds as required. If we take a look at our cabin systems at the moment, temperature is rising slowly, AC is doing its job, VCS is functioning as required. I don't need to do anything about this for the time being. Brilliant. Alright, now before we begin taxi, let me show you guys a little nav map. So we are right now at Teterboro, parked right in front of our hangar and FBO. From here we are going to take off from runway 01 and get out of here using this flight plan towards Portland. We're going to land using 109.90 ILS into runway 29er. Okay, thank you, Mr. Hansen. So there we go. All right, so that's our flight plan today. Fairly simple, straightforward, but it's going to be a little bit of a pain with this particular aircraft. It's quite hard to fly it. All right, I'm going to put a little nav map away and let's get started here. Let's give it a bit of power to get our taxi going. There we go. Turn our aircraft. Join with that taxiway right ahead of us. There we go. Brilliant. Now let's just taxi on to our takeoff runway and we should be good to go. Let's bring up our map on this one, like so, and increase the range there towards Breezy. Ooh, I missed a turn. That's okay, we'll turn off at the next one. Just adds a bit more to our taxi time. Okay, turn off coming up. Can brake a little bit. I like the ground handling of this. It's pretty realistic and very nice. There we go. One more turn off right here. There's our passenger view right there. Very good. Just at the end of that runway right there. We're taxiing a little too quickly. I'll cut the throttle right there. Get a bit of brake. Okay, we can make our turn onto our runway. There we go. Let's turn on the landing lights, strobe lights. Let's go to TCAS. TA only. Actually, I'm gonna go on. There we go. There we go. We need to line up properly there. My bad, everyone. Just line it up. Okay, there's plenty of room for us to take off though. Perfect. So takeoff thrust right here, ATR is available, and we're gonna go to 87.8 and one marked for us in advance. That's all we need to advance the lever to. Everything else looking good. We need to put our trim though. We didn't check our trim. So trim needs to come somewhere in the middle there. Somewhere right here. Okay, that's good enough of a trim. Okay, let's go ahead and set thrust and take off. This aircraft is pretty slippery and quick. It's not very forgiving, so let's try this. Takeoff thrust set. Acceleration is through the roof, as you can see. Rotate off the ground. It's too much rotation. That was very sensitive. Get up, flaps up. Down to climb thrust. Oh lordy, look at that. Okay. Nav mode on. I forgot to set up our auto throttle. Our autopilot, my bad. There we go. We're climbing directly on towards our cruising altitude today. I'm not gonna pay attention to what SimBrief said. I'm gonna go directly to 25,000 feet. Let's go flight level change. Let's leave VNav on. Power it down a little bit. This aircraft is too quick. And we are okay. Alright, there we go. I still haven't mastered how to take off properly with this aircraft. It is very slippery and very sensitive. I think my trim was 2 nose up. Yeah, my trim was definitely 2 nose up. There we go. We're flying along, looking okay. Yeah, we're looking okay. That climb rate is scary, but it's just how it goes, I guess. The weights don't seem to do much for this aircraft. Holding it since I started this code review. Oh, the lavatory. How do I turn on the lavatory? The lavatory is on. So, I don't know what they're talking about. Ooh, I forgot to turn on the signs, didn't I? Okay, I'm gonna follow commercial rules and turn off our landing lights right there. Everything else can remain on. We are on our way, ladies and gentlemen. We increase the range on that so we can take a closer look there. How is our cabin condition looking like? It's perfect temperature pretty much. Yeah, so go to the toilet, man. Is that my fault? Anxious connector. I don't care about you. Seems calm for once, gazing out. Okay, that's fine. So everyone else is okay except this guy who needs to really go to the toilet. But the lavatory is on. Isn't it? I think it is. I think it is on. I believe it is. Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know. I didn't do any of the PAs there. That affects some of the mood. Why can't they use the lavatory? Is there something I need to do to enable the lavatory by any chance? I have this on. Flight controls, push to restore, oxygen. So fine, anything here? No. How do you manage your pressurization differential from this panel right here? Pressurization panel is right here. You can leave it on automatic mode or manual if you want to do that manually. Here is the pressure dump, and that's pretty much it. You can see your statuses if you want to take a look at pressurization. It's right here. Cabin altitude, the rate, everything, the delta. It'll tell you everything right here. Automatic usually does well, unless it's unless you've enabled the option for it to fail, which I don't know if I have. Well, yeah, random failures for me are off. So if you've got that on, then perhaps. Okay. Let's set our barometric pressure here. Done. Oh, we're looking okay. Yes, we are. Topper descent is a long way from now. So we are looking good. Cabin conditions good. I don't see any problems. There we go. We're on our way to Mikal. Climbing out towards 25,000 feet. Now, our passenger signs are on. I'm going to turn them off. There we go. This guy is going to the toilet now. Look at that. We can see the animation of the guy in the lavatory, and he is in the lavatory. Too good for you. Welcome to the live stream chat, man. Welcome to the live stream chat. I haven't seen you around before. Welcome. Same with you, Mr. Hanson. But yeah. Alistair is in the lavatory. This guy also needs to go. Come on, Mr. Young Professional. Get out of here. Go to your... What's wrong with this guy? He's loosening their tie. Why are you loosening your tie? It's not that hot. Maybe it is. What can I do for him? Nothing much, really. I mean... Let me put it on 22 degrees. I can make that. I can do that for you. Can't make it much cooler than this, man. Come on. Again, the air condition is very, very realistically modeled. So you can't just set it to a particular temperature and expect it to follow that. Nope. It will heat up and cool down. Okay, you know what? Let me just go down a little bit more on the temperature. That should help. What's wrong with you? Oh god. It's too hot for these executive travelers. Hunger, thirst, whatever. I thought Alistair was in here. I don't know. Anyway, different types of passengers, so... Okay, we're flying along pretty comfortably at the moment, aren't we? Cruising altitude of 25,000 feet is what I'm doing today. I'm not doing more than that. I could go 30,000 on this particular route, but let's just do 25,000 for today, shall we? What does SimBrief recommend? SimBrief is recommending 17,000, which is absolute bogus. So there we are, just flying along. We'll take a look at some cinematic views in just a second. But since this is the first look and preview of the aircraft... Okay, what are you doing in the lavatory, my man? Is that a number 2 that you're going to? Yeah, it is. I'll just wait for all of this to happen and then we'll see what we can do, right? We'll serve some coffee and some snacks and try and make them a little bit more happy.
This is the captain. We are now at cruise altitude and conditions look smooth ahead.
You can hear a faint announcement. There we go, looking good. We are looking good as we fly towards Portland. Flying over Connecticut at the moment. Let's take a look around the jet. It's a beautiful jet, isn't it? I dream for a global or Challenger 650 or 300 someday. You're talking about in MSFS? Because the Challenger 650 in X-Plane 12 is absolutely brilliant. So in MSFS. What I want is the Gulf Stream. So yeah, global it is. Global. I want the 650, I think. Oh, no, not that. I have that confused. Hold on. Let me tell you the exact jet that I would like to see in Microsoft Flight Sim. Ooh, we are overspeeding.
High speed.
This aircraft does not have an auto throttle.
High speed.
Well, in real life, some of them do have it, but this particular simulation does not have it. So we oversped by a few knots there, but that's okay. We just need to leave it on cruise mode right here. But if we leave it there, it's a little too fast because we have a tailwind. Today we have a tailwind component of 41 knots, so it's going to be too fast for us. I'm going to have to decrease our cruise power just a little bit there so that we do not overspeed. We'll leave it like that, a little on the edge, but that's okay. Alright, we'll leave it just like that. Let's go back to some views. Let me show you, let me tell you which is the exact model that I would like to see. The Gulfstream 650, that is the one. That is the one that I would like to see. The Gulfstream 650. The G6 basically is the one that I would like to see. I would be flying it everywhere all the time. Oh, that looks pretty cool. Which city are we flying over at the moment? We are flying over Hartford. We're flying over Hartford. The dream aircraft, yes it is. It is the dream aircraft for sure. Flying extremely well here. This aircraft is hard to tame for me, at least for my style. It takes off faster than some fighters and it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy the way how it takes off. I don't know how accurate that is, but if this is how this thing takes off in real life, it's crazy. It is crazy. But yeah, I think I need to add a bit more compression to my voice. Do I need to do that? No, I don't. I think I sound just fine right now, don't I? Yeah, I do. Okay, let's see what we can do in terms of checking up on our passengers, right? So let's check up on our passengers right now. What is going on with it? Everyone is unhappy. Everybody is unhappy. Why are you unhappy now? Oh gosh. The temperature is fine, man. 24.5 degrees is just fine. I don't understand what these spoiled little prices are complaining about. Wait. Let me drop the temperature further. There you go. Let's make it 67 Fahrenheit in here. So that will hopefully try and make them a little bit cooler. Let me serve some coffee. I don't care about Alexandru Larsen. what they did. Serve some snacks as well. It's these executive types that are really hard to please here. Dude, go to the toilet, man. Go to the toilet. Please go to the toilet. I've turned off this. I don't get it. Whatever. The temperature has started decreasing right here. So that should be okay, right? Yeah. So now they should stop complaining a little bit. It's getting cooler in the cabin. Let's check out our range. Where are we? Oh, we're not too far away from top of descent. Would you look at that? Private jet, huh? Well, it's not as quick as the Cessna Citation. To be honest with you, if I'm being entirely honest, I love the way how the Cessna Citation flies. But in terms of modeling and simulation, this aircraft is modeled much better. It's simulated much better. It has a lot more features and all that good stuff. However, I just have a personal preference towards the Cessna Citation X by FlightFX. It's more fun to fly. It's more fun to fly, and that's the whole point of flight simulation. It's more fun to fly, right? This one is simulated extremely well, lots of depth, lots of realism, crazy levels of stuff, but it's not as fun to fly. I guess it's because the real aircraft is pretty much the same thing. It's modeled really well, but the Phenom 300 is not as fun to fly as the Cessna Citation X, and therefore for me, I just prefer the Cessna Citation X. It's just what it is. Alright, it is just what it is. I just like it better. I do. So if you gave me the choice of one or the other to fly, I would fly the Cessna Citation X. Even in real life, which one would I actually want? Let's say if I was rich enough to have one. Oh, would you look at that? Mr. Mike Coffee was asking me whether the meals show up, and they do. I serve them meals and coffee, and here they are. Where's the coder? Oh, I see. The passengers are not exactly accurate. Where's the coder? Where's the guy with the laptop? None of that. But there's a lot of uncanny valley going on right here. But anyway, look at the food, man. I'm hungry. What's this? Seems like salad. Yuck. I hate salad. That looks like a good mint sauce and garlic sauce right there. That looks like mint sauce and garlic sauce. I could be wrong. Some coffee that does not look bad. Cafefe does not look bad. Some knockoff Fanta and Coca-Cola. Okay, that looks like a good meal. Some rice right there. I would have that. That's a good meal, isn't it? With some... Oh, yes, this one. I'll have one of this, please. And some coffee. Yeah, but neither look particularly appetizing, do they? They look particularly unappetizing, but anyway. Mighty Mist. That's Mountain Dew. Peppy. Alright, okay. Anyway, that's pretty cool. I like how they disappear when you come in towards the seat. That's nice. That's pretty nice. Let's jump back into the cabin here. We're coming up on top of descent in 89 nautical miles or so. No, less than that. Half of that. So about 40 something nautical miles, 45 nautical miles, we should be at top of descent. And that shouldn't take us too long, should it? No, it should not. Yep, right there. 45 nautical miles. Seems right. To top of descent, it's not going to take us any time whatsoever. We're cruising at 0.74. The Cessna Citation can cruise at 0.92. It can do that. So yeah, I'm a fan of the Citation. Anyway, let's go outside, enjoy some views while we wait for top of descent. little bit of turbulence going on right there. Off to our right hand side is the city of Boston. Okay, that is Boston right there. Off to our right, everybody. We're flying past Boston at the moment. Boston. Boston. All right. And off to our left, we are looking at Leominster? Yeah, I think so. If that's how you say that, I don't know how exactly you say that. You can also see Fitchburg. It's pretty cool how you can see all of that. Alrighty. We are going to be flying over Nashua as well. In a bit, we should be flying over Nashua too. Yeah, Nashua is actually ahead of us. Nashua is ahead of us. Yep, there's Nashua. There is Nashua. Yep, we're looking at Nashua right now. Okay. Time for us to get back into the cockpit here. We might be coming up on top of descent, so let's go to the stream flight. Oh, we need to warn them of turbulence. Okay. It's good enough for us.
Vertical track.
TOD within 1 minute. Let's do the descent one. Let's put our altitude here to 3,000 feet. So we can begin our descent here. Let me put it to 3,000 feet. Come on, Mr. 3,000 feet. There we go, everybody. We're on 3,000 feet. Let's go down here to our flight plan, have a look at what the altitude we're supposed to be at is. So runway 21 minus 3, 1,700 feet at Piet. So 1,700 feet. There we go. Top of descent coming up. We're about to make that descent right now, everybody. Vertical profile, there it is. Brilliant. Brilliant. And we've begun our descent. Let's cut our throttle back. It says we need to go at 275 knots. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep the speed a little high because I want us to reach a little quicker. So let's just go a little faster than we should. Okay. Yep, I'm going to keep our speed right there at 300 or something like that. Descent announcement is done. There we go. 22.6 degrees Celsius. It's fine. We'll put the temperature up. 68. Make it... we'll leave it at 68. There we go. Looking good through descent here, everybody. Let's take a look at the aircraft systems. Everything is looking great. TAT at 1. SAT is minus 22. We're okay. We're okay. I don't think we need to worry about it. I don't think we need any anti-icing today either. We're okay. So we're going a little faster than usual, than we need to. I'll give it a bit more power. I want to keep up the speed through my initial descent down towards 10,000 feet, where I'll slow it down towards 250 knots. But for now, we're looking okay. Let's take a look at that. There we go. Brilliant. Got a headwind of 10 knots now. Let me give it a bit more oomph through the throttle there. Can increase our speed. Excellent, everybody. We are flying on towards Portland. I have built myself another base at Portland because it has a nice collection of private jet parkings, and it is a jet port. So I made a base at Portland as well. It's also a nice distance from New York for us to be able to perform some flights in and out of New York and some key areas like Boston, for instance. So yeah, it is a nice area. We can also fly towards Canada, Ottawa, from Portland. Could also fly up to Vermont, which is pretty nice, or Quebec, or even Toronto. So it's a very nice area to have a couple of jet bases right there. We're a little faster than we should be. That's okay. Transition altitude just passed, so let's put our pressure to the local pressure, which is 30.42. Ooh, speed. So watch our speed there. There we go, right on the edge of overspeeding. That's how you like to fly. You need to get on the ground as quickly as possible, right? That's what it's about. Okay. Brilliant. Give it a bit more oomph. Yep, we're looking good. Coming up on 14,000 feet. Cabin condition. Oh, look, would you look at that? They're all sleeping now. Everybody is much happier. Everybody is... Does it show that the passengers are actually sleeping? Let's have a look. Nope, everyone is wide awake. We need to clear the tables. Let's put that away. Also close that up. But hold on. Let me put this one on sleeping. There we go. Bottom of descent in 1 minute because we have an altitude constrained at 11,000 feet. So that's why it says that. All right. Looking good. All right, everybody is happy. We're turning into our arrival towards Portland, so we have just turned into our arrival procedure Let me show you guys a little nav map so you have an idea of what I'm talking about. There it is. Turning into our arrival procedure into Portland. We're pretty much there. We are pretty much there. It's not going to take us long now. There we go. That's Portland right ahead of us, everybody. That is Portland right here. That's Portland right there. Okay, we are looking at Portland. Yep. Yes, dead ahead of us right now is Portland. Let's increase the range on that so we have a better idea of what's going on. There we go. We are holding currently at 11,000 feet. I'm gonna give it a bit more throttle there so we can fly quicker. Tailwind of 11 knots. Our next stop or descent is right here. Okay, that's fine. The aircraft is not too terrible to fly, but taking off with it is a bit funny. It is, whilst flying it's fairly smooth, but taking off with it and landing with it are completely different story. Particularly, funnily with this aircraft, takeoff is pretty interesting. I'll say that. It's pretty interesting. That is the... Oh, we're making a nice little turn there. Let's get back into the flight deck, shall we? There we go. A little too quick. Well, that's okay. Portland is right there. That's Portland. This ahead of us is... I'm not exactly sure. Might be Scarborough, but Portland is right there. We're going to be landing in there momentarily. Waiting for our next top of descent and departure from 11,000 feet. And then we should be good to go. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. 23 degrees, everything is perfect. Our passengers are happy for the time being. Let's see how much that lasts after we land. I don't think it's gonna last for much. In either case. Alright. Let's just enjoy some cinematic views for the time being. There's nothing else to do. There we go. It's getting pretty dark out.
Vertical track.
Oh no.
High speed. Director.
Oh no. I just crashed. I forgot to jump in and monitor the flight at top of descent because we're traveling too fast. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't believe I just did that. There we go. We're back on FMS. Come on, man. That sucks. That sucks. Come on. We're doing so well. Lack of auto throttle. What else can I tell you?
Flight director.
Unbelievable. Oh, we just screwed that up, didn't we? We were doing so well and I screwed that up. There is Portland and we're about to land in there. Can't believe I screwed that up. Now we're gonna have a rough time. Let me put my speed brake out. We're gonna have a rough time catching up with the rest of the procedure to land now. Yeah, now we're screwed. Now we are screwed, ladies and gentlemen. We are screwed. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I screwed that up. Landing data. We load everything up. Accept everything. Have speed brakes up. Yeah, let's see what we can do. I was traveling too close to the overspeed limit and was busy enjoying the views. Forgot to turn that back down. Forgot to get back inside and turn that back down. And here we are. I think we're gonna have to use our heading mode now. We'll just slow it down ourselves. We can extend it downwind a little bit, but I'm not sure if I need that today. So let's just try and do this without extending. Okay, let's try and do it without extending. It's a clever idea to extend this downwind and then turn in, but let's see if we can rush this. I've still got my spoilers out. Let's see if we can rush this. At Sape, we're supposed to be around 3,000 feet, which is going to happen. It's not that difficult. I'll just turn our heading in this way. Our FMS is waiting. You know what I'll do? I'll go towards localizer. And I'll turn on approach mode when we're ready. So nav 1 is supposed to be... No, it's not supposed to be 110 or whatever. It's supposed to be 109.90. So we need to set that in 10990. Enter that. And we need to transfer that and we need to turn that on. There we go. That's much better. Yep, we've got our localizer right there. That's how it's supposed to be. Our heading is taking us this way. That's okay. Yep, we're gonna be just fine. We're gonna be just fine. Luckily. With the help of the speed brake, we're gonna be just fine. But without the speed brake, no chance. No chance. We're heading down towards 1,700 feet. That's where we're supposed to be at Pete. Okay, we're gonna be okay. Finally. I've got Sky Dolly ready to go. I haven't started it yet, so if anybody can remind me, do that. Let's try this out. We are... let me just go directly this way. Come on. There we go. Or we can just catch the localizer, can't we? So let me try approach. Just go for the localizer. 2,800, it's good enough. Let's just going to put the speed brake back in. There we go, localizer caught, glide slope waiting for that. We should be able to catch the glide slope soon enough. There we go, we're slowing down slowly and gently like it should. No airport in sight as far as I'm concerned. I do not see the airport in sight, but we have localizer. That's good enough for... Oh, there it is. Airport in sight. Runway in sight. We've got everything. Good. Excellent. Speed is a little low. That's okay.
High speed.
Oh,
High
sorry.
speed.
Too early. Too early. Sorry. My bad. My bad. Used to the bigger jets right there. That is way too soon for that. Okay. 2.6. We should be able to catch the glide slope at SAP. Yeah, we should be. Okay, we're waiting for our glide slope then. Let's slow down gently without the speed brake. Yeah, we'll be fine. Got this back on track finally. Let's turn on our landing lights. We're not commercial traffic, so I don't have to worry too much, but still. Okay, let me... yeah, that's affected the ratings, obviously, for the passengers. They're not that happy anymore, huh? Well, that's okay. That is perfectly okay. Okay. There's... Alright. The combination of reshade, atmospheric effects, graphic settings, all... Well, I'm very glad that you're enjoying it, Mr. Anderson there. Oh, thank you very much. This aircraft does give you some issues in terms of performance, though. I do want to let you know that. Okay, we've got glide slope. Excellent. I'm cutting my throttle fully. Gonna drop the landing gear for some extra drag. Oh, we can't see anything from this view, can we? Yeah, that's just the autopilot taking care of it. We don't need to worry about it. We need to put our flaps down right there. Come on, we need more flaps down. Our speed brake is closed. Good.
High speed.
There we go. Reducing the flap as quickly as possible, pretty much. Landing this aircraft is not easy, and I'm doing it at night. I am an idiot. Flaps down further. Flaps full. And we need to increase that throttle right there. With flaps full, the drag significantly increases. So, are we on approach mode? Yes, of course, we are on approach mode. Coming into land, into runway 29er at Portland, and yeah, it's about time we take manual control. Oh Lord, it's gonna be difficult, this one. Oh, 1,000 feet, my aircraft. Very difficult, and the controls are very sensitive on this. I need a different control profile for this aircraft, and that's something I hate doing. It's very difficult. Oh my god. If I move it a millimeter, the aircraft responds, and it's crazy. Oh, I don't have Sky Dolly on. Sky Dolly is on. Okay. Can't see you guys' comments at the moment. Alright. Lord. Okay, I'm gonna float it down the runway.
Flight
Good.
director.
Okay, down we go. All right, welcome to Portland, everybody. Put some brakes on that. Put some more brakes on that. Put some more brakes on that, and there we go. Thank you, Mr. Anderson. We shall check out the replay in just a bit. As usual, let's just go down in our speed a little bit more. Give us a bit of positive power. Close that speed brake right there, like so. And we can put our flaps back up. Thank you very much, Mr. Annis. Thank you, Mr. Anderson, as well. Much appreciated. Let's now go ahead and turn our aircraft off right here. Let's put this to taxi light, shall we? There we go. Excellent. Strobe lights can come off as well. You can hear the cabin? Really? I can't hear the cabin, by the way. I'm sorry. I can't really hear the cabin. I forgot to make a landing announcement, didn't I? Yeah, what does it say? Oh, great. Everybody's happy. Oh, would you look at that? People like the landing. Excellent. Oh, nice. All right. We will definitely take a look at the landing replay. I just need to... You should have, I meant. Okay, I don't know what you mean, Alice. That's okay. But we will take a look at the landing replays. We'll take a look at the landing replays. Everybody is happy here. That's excellent. Our temperatures are looking okay at the moment, right? Yeah, kind of okay. I'm gonna keep it... Yeah, we need to park our aircraft though. Alrighty. Alrighty. The taxi is a bit long, excuse me on that. There is the beautiful Portland International Jetport Airport, everybody. That looks lovely, doesn't it? Looks very nice at night, but our parking is at the FBO, which you can see already. Check that out. Fla Danube, right there. That is the FBO we're going at. It's floating on the thing there for some reason. It always does that at Portland for some reason. So I'm gonna show you guys how I just quickly fix that once we reach. But that's where we're headed to. Okay, it always does that over here. It floats, and I hate it when it does that, but I'll show you guys how I fix that once we reach the base. Okay, we'll definitely take a look at the landing replays, Mr. Runners. Hold on there. As soon as we park in towards our base, I'll go ahead and show you guys the landing replay. Let's give it a bit of power here. We need to turn off to the right. Okay, that will take us towards the FBO. There we go, our floating FBOs. We'll fix it in just a bit. Crossing the runway, but luckily there's no traffic. Give it a bit of power here. So we can taxi along. Oh, thank you, Mr. Anderson, but we need to check. We need to check how it went because it can be deceiving. Also, I do have a lot of effects on. I have FS Realistic and Chase Plane effects active for touchdown, so we'll see how exactly that went once we take a look at the replay. But that is definitely, to be honest with you, the best touchdown that I've had with this particular aircraft, that's for sure. Okay, it is definitely the best touchdown I've ever had with this particular aircraft. So there we go. Nice little entry into our FBO right here. There we go. As you can tell, it is floating at the moment, isn't it? So we're gonna fix that as well. Fix that. Just give me a second. Let me turn our aircraft around here, just like that, and I'll park it. Okay. There we go. Parking brake on. Let's go outside. We'll take a look at the landing replay, and then we'll fix the FBO floating issue. How about that? All right. So sky dolly time it is. Okay. Our passengers are happy as we checked. Yes, they are. Everybody is 100% happy at the end of the flight. Brilliant. Okay. Let's go ahead and check our landing replay, shall we? Rewind this. Rewind this. I'm pretty sure the passengers will get unhappy, by the way, because of the landing replay. But we're going to ignore that. Our landing is somewhere here. Put it somewhere here. Okay. Let's clean that out and let's play the landing replay. There we go. First landing replay with the FSReborn 300 into Portland. Let's check that out. Yeah, that was actually pretty smooth. Yep. That was definitely pretty smooth. Excellent. Let's take a look at that from this point of view. All right, yep. That was definitely smooth and nice. Definitely smooth and nice. All right, I like that. I like that. That was a good touchdown. Finally. That was a good touchdown, eh? Let's now go and check. I don't know what it is, but I like this view. No, not this one. This one right here. So let's take a look from this view. Thank you very much, Mr. Anderson. This is one of my favorite views. There we go. Just a little off to the right, but nothing too bad at all. The actual touchdown was pretty much in the center. It was good enough. That was definitely good. Okay. Now it's time for us to enjoy some landing replays from this flyby mode, of course. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, very nice. Look at that. Okay, let's replay that a little bit from right here. Let's play that again. Oh yes, that is so satisfying. That is just satisfaction. We gotta watch that again. Come on. Check that out. Oh, brilliant. That is brilliant. Welcome back, Mr. Mike Coffee. Thank you very much, man. Welcome back. We'll have one more look at it for Mr. Mike Coffee, who's just come back in. That was absolutely brilliant. So satisfying right there. Oh, yes. See. All right. Okay, that was great. Let's now take a look at what the passenger experienced. We'll take a few cabin views and, you know, all that good stuff. We'll check it out from this point of view first. How about that? Let's check this out. Oh, that was down so smooth. That was really smooth. That was very smooth. Like so smooth there was nothing to even feel. That's pretty cool. Let's try that one more time. Yep, there we go. There we go. Very nice. Welcome to Portland, everybody. Let's play that one more time from the other side and then we will call it for today's live stream. No, we'll go and shut down our aircraft. That's what we'll do. But one more last landing replay. Okay, so last landing replay, and we'll go and shut it down. We'll also take a look at our FBO and fix that floating issue that I was talking about.
Too low. Terrain.
Okay, ignore those warnings, please.
Terrain. Too low.
It's just because of the landing replay. That is it. Perfect. Perfect. Let's see what Elevatics says that touchdown was. Right? According to Elevatics, that touchdown was minus 75 feet per minute, G-force of 1.03. So you barely felt it. You barely felt it. It was a G-force of 1.03. You barely can even tell that, and it's minus 75. So that was pretty good. To be honest, minus 75 is a little too low in terms of a perfect touchdown. According to a textbook touchdown, you want it somewhere between 100 and 250 or something like that. You want it somewhere between 50 and 150. So I think it's okay. But a minus 75 might be too smooth, but it's okay. It's definitely good. It's very smooth, right? So I'll give myself that for sure. Okay, so now let's go ahead and fast forward to where we left our aircraft off near the FBO. And that is one issue. Now, by the way, this floating FBO issue, I only have it at Portland. I do not have it at any other airports. Just at Portland, I have this floating FBO issue. But it's okay. Let's bring our aircraft to a stop here. Yes, there we go. Okay, brilliant. Done. Now let's shut down our aircraft and get things done here. Shall we do that? GPU connect, please. Thank you very much. Let's shut down our aircraft. Stop. Let's put that off. Let's put all of this to off right here. This can come off. This can come on. Bleeds off. Hydraulics off. That all off right here. How do I turn this off? This is not working. Okay. And let's go to unload real time. Let's open up our stuff here. There we go. Volanta always says I'm doing Navy carrier landings. I use Elevatex instead of Volanta now, so. There we go. Brilliant. Emergency brake low pressure. I don't care about that right now. Okay, we are good to go here. Let's turn that off. Let's turn this off. Turn that off. Everything else here is off. Taxi lights, all that stuff. Strobe lights off. This off. This can come off right here. Everything here is looking okay, right? It's supposed to be on auto, but everything here is looking good. Okay, that's all good. That's all good. Generators off. We don't need those anymore. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. There we are. Okay. I'm not gonna... You know what? I'm not going to... Oh, everybody's off. Everybody's off here. Where is the vehicle? I don't know where the vehicle is. Anyway, I think we're good to go here. Let me just skip everything up. Skip complete. Everything needs to be closed up. Unloading from aircraft. Let that happen. As it should. We got plenty of fuel left behind as well. 2020 doesn't have the floating FBO. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'm not sure whether it does. Okay. Let's go to our FBO for a second and fix what's wrong with it, shall we? So here's the FBO at Portland. It's always floating. So I'm gonna come here and fix that up real. There we go. Let's put this at 0. Save that up. Close it. Let's put this at 0. Save that up. As a matter of fact, I can open up our hangar doors here. I'll save that. Okay. There we go. Hangar doors are open, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. FSReborn base at Portland. Looks really cool, doesn't it? I like it. I like that. I like the FSReborn. Very, very nice. Okay. So now that our processes have finished here, unloading still, I'm just going to cancel everything. It's still taking its sweet time to unload stuff. Is it open? Yeah, it is open. Come on. Unload everything then. I want the cargo out. Why is it taking this long to remove the cargo? Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to cancel the service. Can't be bothered. So we are just going to cancel everything up. Gonna close everything up, unload everything instantly, and there you go. GPU can be turned off. Let's turn off our batteries as well.
GPWS system failure.
Okay, and ta-da! In terms of maintenance, everything is looking good. Nothing is bad here. And there we go, everyone. There we go. Okay, so now there's another neat trick that I have found with GSX. I have saved the hangar as an actual location, a parking location. So when I'm using GSX, I can actually move it to my custom location. What? The custom location's gone? Unbelievable. Look at that. That's messed up. That's messed up, isn't it? Look at where it is. Look at where we are. Ah! Okay. It screwed us up. It screwed us up. GSX has screwed me up. Oh, I had actually saved the hangar as a custom location. And it doesn't recognize it, unfortunately. It doesn't recognize it, unfortunately. That sucks. That sucks. Right? Anyway. There is something I can do. That is, we are here at the moment. I can move it. I can move our aircraft all the way to in front of our hangar, and I'll leave it there. How about that? Well, GSX, Mr. GSX has screwed me over. Yep, where is the hangar? Hangar is right here. Ta-da! We'll put it in the hangar. Why not? We'll turn it around. Turn it around. Okay. There we go. There we go. All right. I'll leave us in the hangar like that. That is where it was supposed to save the position, but Mr. GSX decided to screw me over. Because I did have a custom position. It was called hangar and it didn't do that. It did not do that. Can I save the current position as hangar? Okay. No, I should save it as hangar 2, shouldn't I? Rename the hangar 2. Maybe this will work, who knows. Anyway, thank you so much guys for watching that video right there. Here we are at our base with our particular aircraft. Hope you guys enjoyed that lovely little live stream taking a look at the new FSReborn Phenom 300. I will be making a video of the same. I'll take a look at the aircraft and make a video of that in case you guys are interested in watching that. I'll also be making a tutorial on how to get your FBO set up correctly. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody, especially those who tuned into the chat. Mr. Anderson himself, thank you very much. Mike Coffee, Anas, thank you all for tuning in. Too Good For You, thank you very much. Hanson DJ, thank you very much for tuning in here as well. Anybody else who tuned in? Dishant, thank you very much for tuning in, man. Much appreciated. So yeah, I shall catch you guys in the next one, and until next time, you take care of yourselves and have a good day. And yeah, do that good stuff, liking, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff for the channel. I shall catch you in the next one, and until then, have a good day. Bye bye.